John Higgins, Mortgage One. Happy Monday. So last week, the Fed threw us a little bit of a surprise. The market was kind of expecting 25 basis points, and the Fed kind of went all in and gave us a 50 basis point cut in the Fed funds rate. So that's great news. The market has been anticipating these cuts as we've moved through the summer, and that it became apparent that the Fed was ready to get away from their restrictive interest rate policy a little bit here and start reducing rates, maybe get back to a more neutral policy. What does all that mean for mortgage rates? Well, as I mentioned, the market was kind of anticipating this. So as we moved past the Fed meeting and the 50 basis point cut, our rates really have moved sideways and actually maybe just a tick higher. So the idea is the Fed thinks they're going to cut a few more times. They've kind of promised, like they did earlier this year, and that didn't actually get any follow through. But they've kind of intimated that they're going to give us another 50 basis points in cuts probably in the next two meetings, and then maybe pause and see where the economy's at, job growth, and that. They think they have their arms around inflation, and they're not too worried about it at the moment. It's more trying to affect that soft landing, try to keep the jobs numbers above zero. We know the Fed has two mandates. One is inflation, keeping that around 2%, and the other is to promote employment in the economy. So if the Fed is too restrictive in their rates, that will choke off job growth. We're trying to ease rates a little bit to get those jobs numbers back up a little bit. We've been averaging around 100,000 after the big revision we had a while back. So we'll see what the Fed has to say in the ensuing weeks here. We have more numbers coming on inflation this week, and then the jobs number next week. All of that will give us an indication just maybe how far and how fast the Fed really will act here in cutting rates further. So for the moment, all the good news came in before the Fed met as far as mortgage rates go, but we're at the lowest rates that we've seen in near 18 months. So that certainly helps out home affordability. We'll give you an update next week after the inflation numbers come out. Talk to you then.